That one looks like it's new. That says 25. A lot of them just say 24. So it's probably been a while since people have been down here.
It's a lot down here. I don't even see where you're gonna paint at.
Yeah, it's definitely always hard because I know for me personally, I don't ever like going over anybody's stuff. So I try to find something that's already chipping or something that's like a throwaway that didn't take that long. That's my buddy Wet. My cousin actually. I like the color scheme on this too, the pinks and the teals and blues. That's dope. See, that's what I was saying. This guy has a, this is like a more full piece. The one he did down there is a throwaway. So at least if I go over that one, he still has a piece that's up here. And it's right next to my old piece too. It still looks dope though, even though it's chipping. See all this shading I was doing in the lips and stuff here. Shouldn't even have touched that.
So what's like the unwritten rule when it comes to spray painting in these type of areas?
So you're not usually supposed to go over something unless you're doing something on the level or better. So you can go over a throwy with like a more full piece, like some of these. You can go over a tag with a throwy. Because in places like this, you know that there's a limited space, so you know you're gonna have to go over somebody. So if you're gonna go over a piece, you should buff the whole thing out so it's not looking like you're crossing somebody out. So like if you look at the pieces over there, you see how they buffed out the whole section. So nobody's stuff sticking out. Like you want to avoid like people's stuff sticking out of the side of yours if you're going over it. Honestly, this isn't a bad spot either because this wall is just chipping. The piece is dope, but that actually might be a move. It's kind of clear. The light's good here. It's right next to two of my friends. That honestly might be a move also, because then I can go over this whole thing without anybody's stuff sticking out. Like let's say I go from here to the edge of where J.O. did his piece, and I can maybe fill that whole thing in without anything sticking out. Because obviously like this, the wall's chipping here. Also means that I'm gonna have to put down a lot of base coat to, I'm gonna have to kind of chip away at the stuff that's fallen, then put down a nice strong base coat to go over. This might be a move though. I was thinking of one closer to the entrance, but this piece is as dope as it was when they started it. It's chipping. Yeah, all this stuff's, yeah, all this stuff's falling off. So this might be a good piece to go over because it's, you know, this wall is just deteriorating. I'm gonna start scraping some of the stuff off. If I can, I'm gonna try to fill this whole area. I'm gonna do the guy pretty big. I just gotta figure out like what angle the spotlight's gonna come in from. Yeah, it sounds like the move. I'm gonna go grab that ladder.
So what you about to paint?
Just doing a random somebody screaming. Nobody in particular. I just found like, I was just typing in like high contrast man screaming in the microphone. So this is the one I found. So I'm gonna do him and then kind of just like play around with it a little bit. Trying to get all the loose stuff that's gonna fall off right away. Slick Rick, yeah. This is the one with Nas.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you too, what's the method behind like writing the alphabet and the symbols that you put on before you actually start painting?
So you know when they teach you, like in school, when you're in art class, they teach you the box grid, where you're doing like, you know, just the straight lines all the way across. So this is a method that I picked up from some guys overseas, Amsterdam and stuff. So you put a bunch of doodles all over the wall. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. It can be letters, it can be shapes. Then you take your reference image, superimpose it over the doodles, and it shows you how far out to scale your piece. So it gives you more like reference points than the box grid, because box grid has all that empty space in between the lines that you have to try to figure out. Here, you can put as many reference points as you need to get it how you need it to be. Me personally, I have attention span issues, so I tend to go a little bit more detailed with the doodle grid than I need to be, just so I have stuff to pay attention to and I don't get distracted by all the other stuff going on. But really, you don't need to do much. Like, honestly, you can put like a couple shapes here and there and get the general scale of it. But I tend to put a lot just to keep me focused. I tried to limit the color scheme to make it easier to condense, but still wound up grabbing a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna do blues and yellows and grayscale.
All across the world, you know what I mean?
This joint's actually pretty crazy. All right, now I just gotta add a couple of grays in here.
Then I'm coming back to unscrew the door hinges. That also brings out a little echo. Make a motherfucker resort to these methods. But back where I came from, for by being a landlord in the city and the fucking land. Sit down like a riot till I rang the doorbell and everybody got quiet. All of a sudden, kids are yelling. Got a problem giving rent to an alien. And you believe broke wanna act my talking. And they don't like my ass. What am I gonna do with them? I didn't buy my house for them to come and ruin them. So I'm hopping on that.
Not gonna lie, this is pretty crazy for not having any kind of plane outside of just having the guy I was gonna do. I dig this one.